I'm at 6447 Sherman Avenue, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. What we're looking for here is, as usual, any structural issues, root intrusion, things that may be of concern to the buyer. So we are going through a PVC clean out. There's a little bit of cast iron left going through the floor. Majority of the stack in the plumbing has been replaced with PVC. We're going to try to go all the way out to the main. I'm not sure of where that, whether it goes out to Sherman or this side street here. So we are going to go out as far as we can, and we will make note of anything we feel is necessary. And as soon as we get down through that little bit of cast iron, we go into clay, which is normal for this house, this age of house, I should say. It's an old material. That's a little connection here on the left. I did notice something in the floor. It looks like there is an open line, maybe an old kitchen line or some old, looks like an old 2-inch or something. Not sure what it was used for, maybe a stationary tub at one point, because it looks like there are washer and dryer hookups. That should be either capped. You can smell gas, sewer gas coming up through that spot. But I'm sure that will be noted on the homeowners, or on the home inspection also. It's probably this connection here. Looks like this is a turn. As you can see, a lip there, but it's obviously not in the flow line. And what this is, it looks like they rotated the next connection to get it down to the right. And it is dropping off. This very well could be dropping off to get down to the main. Going underwater. But if this goes out the side of the house here, we're pretty close to the road. And so what I may have to do is check to see if it'll, because it is dropping. You can see on the bottom left-hand corner, I'm at like I'm dropping down almost straight. It's 50 degrees. The camera's not hanging straight down just because of the rigidness of the spring. But I'm not able to get past this point for some reason. I think I just did, actually. Okay, there we go. It's just a really hard 90-degree turn. It looks like there's some buildup here on the bottom of this because of a belly right at the bottom of that turn. Now, I'm going to locate that spot and get back just to see exactly where it is, to see if I'm within, if I'm on the property or not. And then here is the switch over to PVC, which should be the connection to the main. It's dropping in. Actually, it's maybe like a high end. see if I go any further, but I couldn't see dropping to the end of that. Looks like that was just a repair done on a drop down. We'll roll to get deeper. I believe that's the main in front of us. Coming into the side of a pipe, and so that is the sewer main. So, for the most part, the line looked good structurally. I will have to get a couple locates on that belly, and that'll have to be, there was some buildup of some sediment on the bottom there with that belly. I didn't see any solids. It looks like maybe there would be, in my opinion, there is enough drop that it would pick up speed there coming down and overtake that spot, but I'm going to recommend that spot be looked at by a licensed plumber just to be sure, because if it does have to be repaired, that can be rather costly. Like I said, it didn't look like it was holding anything, any large amount of debris, but it was still over the camera, so the camera lens is only about a quarter inch to about a half inch off the bottom of the pipe. And this is 6-inch diameter pipe, so we've got a lot of room to overtake it, but that was probably a 2-inch belly at its deepest, right when it gets to the bottom. It's not uncommon to have something like that when on a turn down like that, just because of the way, all the weight sits on it. Okay, so this is pretty sure this is the beginning or the downstream end of the belly that we discussed earlier. It's right at the base of a like a turn down, so it comes out, it drops off like a 90 straight down, and then it 90s back to level out horizontally. And so it goes, obviously it goes, you know, horizontally, then it drops vertically, then back to horizontal. And so usually, I mean, those things do tend to drop a little bit over the years just because of the nature of the weight of the pipe, and everything's slightly different. But usually the water coming directly down in a vertical pipe has enough speed to overtake that. But I am going to recommend that it be looked at by a licensed plumber. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go get a locate to mark exactly where this spot is, and then I will also do the same for the upstream, or at the where the 90 is at the base of it, or as close to that as I can get based off of how the camera is situated. Okay, so this is right at the curb line. It's marked, it's approximately 6'6" deep to the top of the pipe, and it's in the street. And so as we pull this back to mark the upstream side of that, what we'll have, what we may be, this may be an MSD problem. So the first step that I would recommend is that as I mark this, and I'm coming vertical now, so I'll have to try to get this flat at the base. And if not, I'll have to mark it up at the top. I'm going to see if I can get a mark here. But this is only a few feet, and so this may be actually covered by MSD. And if there isn't a ongoing issue with backups because of this, they may look at it, but they probably won't do anything until it actually causes an issue. The good news being that if there is an issue, the sewer district may take ownership of this and do the repair. Usually, if it was all the way in the street, it would be a definite. But usually they give you 10 feet, sometimes a little more, onto private property because of easements and stuff like that. So I'm going to go out here and try to mark the upstream side of it right here, and then we'll pull back the rest of the way. Okay, so that is only about 4 foot off the curb or into the property from the curb. That's obviously the upstream side of it. It is marked, and I believe the first thing I would do is present that to, or at least call MSD, and they can check the locate, seeing that I've marked it with green paint, and they can assess it a little bit better. But because it's not causing a clog at the moment, they probably won't do anything. But like I said earlier, they will at least, it'll let you know whether or not they are responsible at that point, which I believe they are, or they will at least take responsibility being so close to the curb. You're probably going to be more hesitant to deal with that also, just because it's in the driveway, so if they don't have to mess with it, they won't. But they would probably dig that up and put a sewer department clean out right there, which would be also be nice and just gain more access to the line if you ever needed it. But other than that spot, I mean, the line looks really good. All the clay looks like have nice and tight joints, and I haven't seen any structural issues other than obviously that spot at the bottom of that 90. And so I will put on the report also, I will mark about that belly at the base of that turn down, and again, that should not be the responsibility of the homeowner, but I would obviously verify that with the sewer department just to be sure. But, and if for some reason they say that it's not theirs, you would want to get that assessed by a licensed plumber, just to, see if it's, how important they would think it is, just as a second opinion. But again, I'm pretty confident that the sewer department would repair that if it was something that they felt was necessary to be done. But I have pulled out of the clean out. Again, I'm going to reiterate, everything, other than that spot, which should be the sewer department's responsibility, everything looked great. The line goes out from this clean out to the side street, and I can't think of what that side street's called, but it goes out, basically it goes out the driveway and runs out a couple feet into the driveway, and then the main is on the other side of the street, in the street, but on the other side. You can see a manhole at the intersection there. But everything looked really good, and so we're going to end the inspection here for 6447 Sherman Ave.